Hello class, welcome to Friday. We made it to the end of our first week. So what I'm going to go through is your learning for today. So today is a revision of that long I sound. So today you need a piece of paper and a pen so you can write down some words as I say them. Now we have learnt these 4 different spellings for that long I sound. There will be 2 words for each of these. So when I say the word, think about where that I sound is and which spelling might be making that sound and whereabouts it comes in those words. Right, are we ready for our first word? First word we're going to do is pie. I like apple pie. Try. Did you try your best? Wipe. Can you wipe the table? Tie. Did you tie your shoelaces properly? Light. The light is not working. Smile. Did you see the child smile? Dry. Is that towel dry? And fright. I had a scary fright. So let's have a look at those words. First word was pie. The I is at the end of the word and it's made by the IE. So we've got pie. Then we had try. And try again, it's at the end, but that is made with the Y. Try. Then we had tie. Again, the I at the end, it's made by the IE. Then we had wipe. So we've got that naughty little consonant that's come between. We had light. You've got that vowel trigraph in the middle of light. Then we had dry, which again is that Y on the end. Smile. You've got your split vowel digraph, and the last one was fright. You've got that vowel trigraph in the middle. You've got spelling shed as well that you can have a go at. So that's our phonics for today. Reading today, what I'd like you to do is do 10-15 minutes one-to-one reading. And then, did you enjoy the book you have read this week? Why not? So think about your response to your book. Did you like it or didn't you like it? And try to explain why. Okay? You don't need to write that down. You can just do that to the person, talk to the person you've been reading with. Number bonds of 10. So get yourself a piece of paper and a pen. I am going to give you 30 seconds to write down all those number bonds of 10. Right. So if you set yourselves a timer, give yourselves 30 seconds to write them down. So let's have a look. Let's work through systematically. So we've got 10 and 0, 9 and 1, 8 and 2. Oh dear, let's do one of those now. We've got 7 and 3. We've got 8 and 2. No, I've gone the wrong way now. See, the whiteboard put me off then, didn't it? We've got 6 and 4 and 5 and 5. And then we can work our way back up. 4 and 6, 3 and 7, 2 and 8, 1 and 9, 0 and 10. Now today, what I'd like you to do, we're thinking about 2D shapes, okay? These are most of the 2D shapes that we learn at school. So we've got a rectangle or an oblong, a square, a circle, a triangle, an octagon, a pentagon, and a hexagon. So have a think about these shapes. See if you can find any of these shapes around your houses and use the words to describe them. So we need to think about that word edge. We need to think about straight and curved. So that's describing the edges. So most of our shapes have got straight edges, but our circle has got a curved edge. And we can think about vertices. So vertices are the places where the edges meet. So sometimes we call those corners or points, but we can think about the vertices. Now what I'd like you to do, when you found some shapes, have a go at sorting them into different groups. Now you might use something called a Venn diagram, which you have used in school. You're all going to be putting faces, so I don't know what she's talking about. So think about how you would sort them out. So you might put over here shapes with 4 edges, and you might put over here shapes with straight edges. Okay, so if we have a think about these, so if I had a hexagon would come into straight edges, but it hasn't got 4, so I'd put my hexagon here. I'm not very good at drawing a hexagon straight off. My circle, now, does my circle go in any of these? No, it would have to come outside. My triangle has got straight edges. Now my square has got 4 edges. They're also straight, so that would come in the middle. Now, I'm not sure I can think of anything off the top of my head that's got 4 edges which aren't straight. So we might have to have a think about that. But have a go at sorting the shapes out by your own criteria, and you can draw one of these Venn diagrams in your red maths book. The literacy today, you're lucky we're not using the drafts can't dance today. We are adding the nest suffix, okay? You've got a list of words on your timetable that you can add that nest suffix to. Now there are lots of rules that we learned when we thought about adding suffixes. Now what I'd like you to think about is try to remember that Y becomes an I. There are some words where you will need this rule to help you spell those words correctly when you're having a go at that today. Handwriting, we're going to write a word from each of our spellings. So we are going to start off with, let's do tight. So tall T, we've got I, got a low G, tall H, and a tall T at the end. We then looked at our split vowel digraph. We can do wide, or we can do a W. Up, down, up. We come straight off into the I, into the D, and into the E. Then we looked at the words with the IE on the end. I'm not sure I can remember any of those ones. We'll do pie. Can't think of any of the others that I gave you. And then for our word beginning with a Y, we will do sky. So wiggly S, tall K, and a low down Y for your handwriting. Science. Now Mrs. Welling has set you a little science challenge today. We've been thinking a little bit about materials. So it's a bit of a materials revision based sort of activity today. What she wants you to do is find some toys that can maybe be moved by being pushed, squeezed, pulled or twisted. So have a look in the toys you've got at home. What toys, or which toys rather, can you do these things to? Sort them into groups, so which toys can be pushed, which toys can be pulled, and think about that Venn diagram. You might have a toy that can be pushed and pulled, that might come in the middle. And then what Mrs. Welling would like you to do is record your sorted toys onto a table of some sort. So record the information that you found. So you might, I'm going to do this quickly without a ruler. You might record it on a table a bit like this, where you've got pulled, you've got pushed, you've got squeeze, and you've got twist. You would write this much neater than I am. Then you might put a toy in here, so if you've maybe got a toy car, you can pull it, you can push it, you can't squeeze it, and you can't twist it. So have a think about recording your findings. You might do it like that. You might do something like a Venn diagram. Goodness me, what you'd have to do is you would have to have 4 circles on here. Goodness me. Don't quite know how well that would work out, but you can put pull, push. So my car would go in here because it can be pulled and pushed. And then you could have squeeze, and then you could have your twist over here. And your toys would go in different places. And then obviously in the middle, that will be a toy that you can pull, push, squeeze and twist. Don't know if you've got any of those, I'm not sure. So have a go. Think about how you want to record what you find out. Draw it out in your books. And that's your science for today. And then you've got your New Forest School Sports Challenge and making sure you keep active by doing something at home. I hope you've had a great week and I look forward to setting you some more things to do next week. Take care, Yellow Class. Bye for now.